there's a time I interviewed Bobby Wine when I was at KTN.
Oh my.
And I was like, I was excited because I was like, it's a big interview for me. I was excited. And I asked the questions that I thought I was asking the right questions. And in the comments, hey, it's okay if you guys feel like that. I think I did my part and I like what I did.
Yeah.
So whatever. I'm so passionate about telling African stories. And now I'm changing slowly into not just reporting, but telling positive stories about the continent.
You've really talked to like so many people around the world. Seeing your interview with like Yvonne Chaka Chaka, with President Museveni.
Yes.
Like, but do you know who you are? Welcome back to Totally African Podcast. It's the one and only Nikky Shillingi. We are here reporting live. I was giving my journalist voice, but
it's coming through.
Yeah, reporting live here in Nairobi, Kenya. And today we have a lady I've wanted to interview and sit and talk to for so long. She has been in the industry for over 10 years. The CV is long, heavy, and detailed. Yeah, there's not one line. They're like paragraphs. She has been around for sure. I'm just going to give you a few things from CGTN to KTN to K24 to BBC, and now gone back to CGTN. But I'm not gonna be the one to give you all the tea because she's here.
What an intro! Thank you.
We try.
To be here.
Thank you so much for being here. You look gorgeous. Like, I don't think these cameras are doing justice, honestly. Like, wherever you're going, wow. You look so good.
Much.
You look so good.
That.
Yeah.
You look good to yourself.
Thank you.
Sure.
Yeah, we try. But thank you. You have to be humble and everything.
I see.
And you look so good in red. I love red. I should have put on red.
Red or maroon.
It's like burgundy.
It's burgundy. Yes,
Yeah.
It's burgundy. It's my favorite color, actually.
Me too.
It's a beautiful color.
Thank you so much for being here on Totally African Podcast.
Thank you.
And we talk about Africans who have made an impact and who are making an impact in their industries as creatives or just only as individuals.
Yeah.
And you definitely have made a big impact. You're promoting Africa positively. On Totally African Podcast, it's literally Africa to the world. So we're showing the good things that people are doing here and the story you also have to tell as an African.
Yeah.
So, I think we should start from the introduction of how would you describe yourself? Who is Fathiya Mohamed Nur?
God, that's kind of a big question sometimes to answer. And fortunately or unfortunately, sometimes I start with my career usually, but let's go back a bit. So Fathiya is, I'm currently 31 years old. I'm a firstborn of 8.
Wow.
Yes, 8 kids. And I really love being a firstborn. I think being the eldest daughter. Are you an eldest daughter by any chance?
Do I look like the old? No?
You're giving last one.
The last one. What gives it off? Okay,
you're giving a bit of last one.
Yeah, okay.
But yes, so I'm a first one of 8 kids.
Yeah.
And so I've been a journalist for almost 10 years now, actually 10 years plus. And I've moved around the industry quite a bit. I did my studies in USIU.
Yeah.
Both the undergraduate and my master's also completed in USIU. Love USIU, by the way.
Yeah. We have to give it his roses.
100%. But also I think in terms of my career, which is one of the things that I think I'm really, really proud of, is I've been able to move from local media to international media, where now I'm so passionate about telling African stories. And now I'm changing slowly into not just reporting, but telling positive stories about the continent. Just like you talked about.
Literally.
Just like you talked about, because I think, yes, being a journalist, you need to report things factually, accurately, all those things that we're taught in school. But I sat the other day, because I also did diplomacy in my master's, and I was thinking, it's a form of communication, what we do even as journalists. And Africa has not been in a positive light for a very long time. I know there are people who are trying to change it, and I want to be part of that movement.
Yes.
So I hope I've answered your question.
100%, like 10 full marks, 100 out of like,
I like that.
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So you shifted from, okay, let's go back to the whole where you started, because you said you started your internship before you finished your degree, and where you started is now where you currently are. So,
oh my God.
Let's take us through the whole journey.
Whoa, I think, honestly, life is so interesting because I thought, so once I finished my coursework in USIU, I was looking for internship. I remember I went for an interview at Citizen TV. By that time, I hadn't finished my courses. I had 3 to go.
Yeah.
So I did the interview and they were like, you just go finish and then come back when you're done.
Yeah.
So I finished school, my coursework, and then I now need to get an internship for school. And so, you know what I decided to do? Because I'm pretty ambitious. I printed my CV and I went to every media house in Nairobi. Honestly, like the big media houses, Nation, KTN. And then I ended up at CGTN. At the time, it was called CCTV Africa. They just rebranded it to CGTN. And so I just dropped my CV. And they were like, it was on a Wednesday. And I think after I dropped it, they were like, we'll let you know if there's something.
Yeah.
And then I came to school. I did an exam. I had an exam for political science. No. Actually, that Wednesday is when they called me for an interview. And then I came to school. I did my interview, or my exam for political science. And then that day at 3 p.m., they call me and they say, hey, you got the internship. That same day, by the way. And I was like, what? Really?
That is so quick, but okay.
You guys like me? Okay, that's great. So they asked, when do you want to report? I said, I'm ready to report on Monday.
Love it.
So I started on Monday, and it was in December, actually.
Yeah.
So I started at CCTV Africa. I was doing media operations and coordination, basically a lot of library and archiving work. I won't lie to you, I struggled to finish that internship because, when I was in school, I was so certain I want to do broadcast. I want to be either on radio or I want to be on TV in front of camera. I really enjoyed that. But then I go there and they were like, your role, you've been taken in as an intern for the media and operations team. And so you need to do a few things that were not necessarily what I was used to. So 1.5 months in and I'm almost quitting. And so I remember Madame Robbie Koki, I had a chat with her and she was like, no, Fathiya, just go finish.
Yeah.
Just go finish your internship, graduate, and then see what happens after that. So I finished my internship there in 2016, the 3 months, and then I graduated from USIU. And then I got a business internship at K24 TV.
Yeah.
Now, to be honest, I do not like business reporting.
Yeah.
Never liked it.
Really? Why?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just like, it's too technical. That's how I was feeling. Because I think since I was young, I really liked international affairs in terms of like politics and cultural stories and things like that. But then I did it for 3 months and I kind of enjoyed it also. So after that, KTN were advertising for a couple of roles like researcher, news anchor, and a number of them. So I applied for these roles, news anchor, researcher. At the time, I was 22. Let me tell you, I was like, I'm so sure they're not going to take me as an anchor because I have no experience whatsoever. But I was called in for screen tests. And I was so nervous because I'm like, oh my God, KTN News, they're calling me for a screen test. So I did a screen test and then I did an interview. Even the interview itself was a bit intimidating because the people who were in the panel were the big deal, in the
young,
industry.
Like you just started.
I don't know, I'm just trying. Can you hear me out?
Yeah.
And so I do the interview and they like me and they're like, okay, we will let you know when to start. But basically 3 weeks later, I was called. They said, okay, we're going to see how things are going to go. But how about you come in and you start as a researcher? So I went to KTN News as a researcher, worked there for 1.5 years. And so BBC opens in Nairobi. Let me not lie to you, I did not think I'd get in because I was like, I'm too young. I'm like turning 24. I'm still young. They take older people. That's what I assumed.
Yeah.
Like one of the things that I've learned, honestly, is to stop cutting myself short. And I used to do that a lot when I was younger. And so I decided, you know what? Why don't I just apply and see? What's the worst that can happen, And they call me for an interview.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, what? I see an email. BBC is calling me for an interview. What? I was super shocked. But I was like, okay, let me see. And so I remember I was sent for an assignment when I was working at KTN. At that time, from research, I moved to reporting. And I was sent for an assignment to the United Nations. And so I remember my interview was in the evening around 5 p.m. And so I get back to the newsroom at KTN and I'm like, okay, guys, I'm coming back. But I was rushing.
Going for another
to go for an interview. No, I was like, oh God, help me out, you know. But I went and I did the interview.
Yeah.
The role was for broadcast journalists for a particular news program. The time it was called News Review. I did the interview and then a few weeks later, they reach out. I say, okay. I know you had did the interview as a broadcast journalist, but we're thinking, how about we have a researcher position? And because I did research at KTN, would you be interested? And we had that kind of conversation. And I said, let me tell you, I was like, at that time, I was kind of over KTN at that point. Let me put it that way. I was like, I need a new change. I need to grow. And so anyway, eventually I moved to BBC. Now, BBC, I was there for almost 4 years, like 3 years, 11 months. I was there for a very long time because, to be honest, it's one of the best environments to work in. And I really grew in my career because I came in as a researcher. I started going out of Kenya to do stories. So my first assignment was in Ethiopia. I went to Ghana, I went to Zimbabwe, and you're there just doing, stories. Like you go do 4 to 6 stories sometimes, and it was massive, And so I did reporting. I was producing the shows at the time, and then I ended up presenting some shows. So it was such a big deal for me at that time at BBC. So it was a great experience. Comes 2022, and things happen. I'm still working at the BBC, but there was a new opportunity coming up, and KTN News was looking for news anchors, and my goal was to be a news anchor. So remember I told you I want to be broadcast.
I
was like,
that was the first goal.
The screen, that's how I felt, because I grew up watching a lot of these guys, from these brilliant ladies like Julie and Janet Mbogwa and Beatrice Marshall. And so I said, that's where I want to go. And so I applied for that particular role. I did the interview and I got in. So I was there for 2 years and then I moved to CGTN, back to CGTN. So really it's like a full circle moment,
Literally.
From where I started. And 10 years later, now I'm at CGTN as a commissioning editor. And we do documentaries and I'm in charge of like production houses. So it's been an interesting journey so far.
Very interesting. I'm looking at you like, wow.
Oh.
And I wouldn't want to say luck because if you're good at something, you're good at something.
Yeah.
For someone to apply and you actually get through every single time you apply, we have to give you your roses because
100%.
what?
100%. It's definitely not easy, even for CGTN, applying for that commissioning editor role. KTN was going through some challenges. And even as an anchor at the time, I was going through my own challenges as a presenter. And there are times where it used to affect me a lot mentally. And so when this particular position opened up, I was like, how about I just try? That's the thing, by the way. I always just aim for, let me try. And even when I was at KTN, I introduced an international news program called The World Report because I knew, I love being in international spaces. So I introduced that show. And that's one of the reasons I got into CGTN because of such, experiences and focusing on stuff like that. But yeah, it's been great. I can't complain. Yeah.
Wow. It's really nice teaching someone like you because I'm like, there's so much to learn.
Yeah.
And of course, being a journalist, you really have to master storytelling. So how would you advise someone to effectively tell a story?
Wow.
Actually, how do we ask the right questions?
I think that's an interesting question because everybody can tell stories. It just depends with how you can break it down. But let me speak as a journalist. Of course, we have the code of conduct that we follow. We have our values.
Yeah.
And I usually talk about this a lot. It has to be accurate, balanced, impartial, all those things that we learn in school, right? But I think it's important to be compassionate. Let me put it like that. You want to tell someone's story. If you're going to interview someone who lost someone or who's going through a certain situation, you can't just go ham, so who did you lose? You have to know how you're asking the right questions. And that means you need to be very compassionate. You always have to give people grace.
Yeah.
And not everyone will be as responsive as you think. So you've got to be patient with how you deal with people.
Yeah.
And so I think storytelling now is not just about sitting and just yapping about things as a journalist, right? It's about, you're able to give people a platform to speak about what they feel or how they see things. You know, I know you've heard this a lot. We usually say journalists are the voice of the voiceless.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've heard that
Yes.
a million times, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what we do, right? So you've got to give people that voice, that opportunity to feel like they matter. Because a lot of the times the audience asks, why should I care about what you're telling me? Like, why should I care? I can get that anywhere else, but you want to tell me that story, but why should I listen to you if it's here, not listen to anyone else? So it's about, you know, you learn the unique factor that you have and how you can break down issues, you can break down stories, and how you can deliver, I think is very important. Yeah.
Okay. Definitely have to go back and do my homework.
No. It's normal stuff, you know.
Yeah. And do you think it's like gradual? Like you can't be perfect. I did it in the beginning, but like in due time, maybe you can get good at it.
It's everything is with time. I don't think you just wake up one morning and you're like this perfect storyteller, this perfect journalist. No. Whichever field you're in, you just don't wake up and do that.
Yeah.
A lot of the times I think it's through practice. I remember even when we're here at USIU, you know, you want to read something, even how you voice a story, it's not the same way, like the way you started from first sem to the last sem.
Yeah.
You have to take your time when you read the script. You have to put in emotions when you're reading that script. So everything is with time, because even for me, from my experience, everything has come with its own time. But again, you've got to be hungry. You've got to be hungry. You've got to want it, you know.
Oh my goodness,
you know,
yes.
Because let me not lie to you, the obstacles and the hurdles, especially as a journalist, not easy at all. Working in a newsroom is not for the weak. Girl, I'm telling you. Because sometimes you'd find that you have this brilliant idea you want to share with someone, but they look at you like, I don't feel like helping you though. So they just let you like collapse. Like you've got to have that thick skin and you've got to focus. If there's a particular place you want to go, up or two eyes on the prize and you keep it going. Yeah.
Okay. So what has the media being a woman in the media industry, what has it taught you? Because I feel like there's just so many parts of this question I really want to ask, because you're a Somali woman, you are Muslim, and you're always like covered and veiled, which stands out as an individual.
100%.
And in all videos, you maintain it.
Yes.
So I can imagine maybe, I don't know, you'll tell us, like most times someone will be like, oh, just show a little skin.
Yeah.
I want to see more of you, you know?
Let me see a little bit of your hair.
Yeah, thank you. So
just a little bit.
A woman who has maintained that.
Yeah.
How, and also every other anything else you have experienced, what has the media industry taught you with all the values you have?
You've got to be principled. You've got to be principled. You've got to have your stand. You've got to be firm and grounded. That's it. And you have to know what you're standing for. Because if you don't know, especially in the media industry, things are going to go a certain type of way, especially as a woman. Because this is a thing, hear me out, yeah? When you're in the media industry, you're exposed to so many things.
Yeah.
You meet so many people, the who's who. Trust me, like you'll meet the president, you'll meet, cabinet ministers, you'll meet every single person. And I won't lie to you, some of them will be like, are you busy after work? And if you're easily, flattered about such small compliment or things like that, you'll be like, yeah, I mean, what time
can
do you
do something after work?
Yeah, definitely. Just call me up. Like, no, come on. Especially as a woman, I think you need to have that a bit of a stand for yourself. So I think, let me just give you another experience. I remember when I was starting out and I really wanted to be a news anchor. The hijab is a thing, right? Because, they usually say, unajua how a woman looks. It's her hair that makes her pretty. You're covered. We don't get to see much of your beauty.
We can still see it, but okay.
I'm always like, but for me, it's always been like, it's here. It's about my brain. It's about what I think. It's about my mind. And I think it's so, it's just amazing and sexy to be very intellectual as a woman. And that should be the first thing that people see. It's not about my hijab at the end of the day, because yes, this is part of my obligation, but I'm maintaining it because I believe there's more than this, And so I used to get comments like, hey, you don't want to kidogo we see.
No way.
100%. Especially on TV, you can imagine like, hey, we're going to see her, or even the way you dress, like we want to see you in a very
Hitting bodycon,
exactly. Like, let us see a little bit of you, but which is fine if people want to do that. But I think for me, for my values, I'm always like, no. I mean, I think what I deliver here and here is what matters at the end of the day. So I think from what you're asking as a woman, you really have to stand your ground. Because let me not lie to you, so many people will come and flutter you around and tell you, oh my God, you're so gorgeous. Can we take you to where? Or people will even offer to take you to other countries so easily. Oh, you don't have someone? Oh, you're not married? Okay, no problem. What is it that you want? Oh my God, he goes and buys you an expensive dress.
Yeah.
You want that Chanel bag? No worries. Say less. I'm bringing it to you. But maybe I think for me, my personal experience, I've always been like, no, not interested. Yeah, so that's what I think.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I think we need to have more conversations around this because I definitely feel like individuals, like people who are more especially in the limelight, media, whatever.
Yeah.
If you are behind a camera, people have so much to say.
100%,
you know?
Yeah.
And the same thing, you also have to know your identity. You have to know yourself so that you're not easily swayed into, the fast lifestyle, soft girl,
Oh my God, the easy way out. I'm like, why do I need to wake up in the morning and struggle with you guys? Like, it's so easy. And for me, actually, someone came and advised me though. It's something different. I was really surprised because she's Muslim like me, and she advised me, why don't you just be behind the camera? 100%. Why don't you just be behind the camera? I was like, no, it's a little, because sometimes it's that situation with cultures and clash and being seen as a woman and things like that. So she told me to, and I was like, thank you for your advice. But no, definitely no. No, thank you, because I know what I want to do. So even sometimes you'd find people, yes, who are coming from a good place, but you've got to know what you want.
Yeah. At the end of the day, you knew you wanted to be in front of the camera.
Yeah.
So.
And it's just, for me, it's never about the fame and it's not about to be known. I'm like, I think I'm good at this.
Yeah.
I think I can deliver this in a way that's powerful, so why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. I love that. Yeah. And I'm actually talking about like the whole breakdown of being behind the camera, rehearsing your script and messing up. And people always see the final product of like, wow, she's so perfect. She did this in one take.
Yes.
And they don't know you did like 30 takes behind. Do you have that guilt of like, we have a deadline, the cameraman has been holding the camera for the sun, my makeup.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my God.
How do you handle that?
Especially like, if it's a national event, you're covering that national event and you're doing your PTC for the story to go for 9 p.m., right? And you said something and then you remember, oh my God, I forgot one line or I forgot a word. Let's do it again. And let me tell you, once you start taking again and like take, it's like a million takes before you get the right take. And so you start feeling like, oh my God, I'm sorry if I'm wasting your time. Please don't take it.
Yeah.
Because you also have to be kind even to the cameraman. I mean, he's doing his job, but also you're wasting his time. But again, everything comes with practice, with time. I think one of the things that I have learned, because I really struggled with it even when I was a news anchor, I speak very fast usually. And when you're in media, I think it's more powerful when you take your time when you speak. The pauses. Even to be a good public speaker, you've got to pause so that people kind of internalize what you're talking about, you know? And so these are the things that you learn along the way. But you've got to be patient with yourself.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Okay, I'm also going to take that because I also feel like I rap sometimes and someone says, huh?
Yeah.
And I'm like, slow down. I don't want to chasing you. Time. Slow down. Yeah. And it's like when you're passionate about something, I think as another issue I was facing is like, you're telling me something and I'm so eager for you to finish it. I can add to it.
Say something.
I'm like, really? I'm like, it's so, anyway, practice, like what you said.
Yeah.
You gradually just let them talk, internalize, and then respond. Yeah.
But I think that's one of the things you learn even as a woman, by the way. Because as you grow older, you're in your 20s now, but as we're feeling a bit older in our 30s now. But as you grow older, you realize that you kind of have to learn how to slow down. Even in your everyday. If you're going to the gym, if you're going to cook, or you're doing what, like you need to learn how to slow down.
Yeah.
It actually regulates your emotions.
Yeah.
One of the things I have been working on actually is to try to regulate my emotions. And the more I learn how to do things slowly and not rush, the better I do
better
things.
for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually read that somewhere, like it really just slows down your nervous system.
Yes.
So you don't always feel like you're panicking. Like, it's like, just imagine you came in rushing,
Yeah.
you're late, you're like all over the place.
Yes,
you know?
exactly,
You
yeah.
won't probably also give the best of you, you know? So I also learned that I was like, we have a lot of work to do as women too.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Because, and you see, that's the same thing. You go back to, am I managing my time effectively? If I leave early, I go there early. If I go there early, I get to actually experience this differently.
Yeah.
I needed to hear that from someone else.
100%.
Thank you for saying it.
It's gonna come with time.
Yeah.
It's gonna come with time. It's not like immediate. But again, I'm gonna come back to this. You've got to give grace even to yourself. You know, even when I was working on live TV and I'd mess up and I'd beat myself so much. And then I go later, I'm like, yeah, I wasn't that bad. What you talking about, Fathiya? Like, what you talking about? You know?
Yeah.
So it's important to give yourself grace in everything you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, how do you handle such moments where you've messed up and you're live? You can't, at least here we can pre-record, we can go back, we can edit things. But when you're live, like,
Oh my God.
do you say like, my apologies? Do you just keep, you know?
Say, let me take that again.
Oh, okay.
Let me take that again.
Okay.
Or apologies for that, and you continue. Or
Okay.
sometimes if you've messed up, you keep it moving. And unfortunately, even when that used to happen, I'd come and get, feedback in the newsroom. People would be like, "But why did you pronounce that word like this? Why did da?" And you see, as much as sometimes some people might come from a good place, others are just like, yeah, you see, she's not good at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So I have to speak to myself. That's how I manage it. Let me be honest with you. Yeah, what I used to do. You read one story, and then it goes. You read the intro of a story, and it goes to the story. Right, the package runs. I talk to myself in between.
Huh?
I talk to myself basically.
Oh, what?
So let me tell you. So usually, like, you have a notebook or you have a paper and pen and things like that. And so when you feel like you've messed up something and your mind starts running, when I've read that story and it's a story now running, you can't see me anymore. I'm not live. Yeah. I'll just write something down like, "Hey, Fathiya, you're doing good. Don't worry. It's okay. It's fine. Take it easy."
That's so powerful. Oh my goodness.
I'm being honest with you, and
I'm going to start doing that.
It kind of really helped me like calm myself down, because my mind would start running, or like I'm like, "Oh my God, maybe I didn't say this right." Da da da. But in between, I would talk to myself and say,
You're doing it.
It's okay.
Job.
You're doing great.
Go, girl.
Exactly. So you hype yourself up.
Yes.
But yeah, it kind of helps.
Yeah. Wow. And I feel like we're definitely always going to be our biggest critic.
Yes.
Do you have a phobia of listening or hearing or watching back and seeing yourself either on TV or like something you've done?
I used to.
Okay.
I used to, actually. When I started my career, I was like, I don't want to hear myself. Oh my God, that's my voice. Who is that? I don't want to see myself. But now I sit and I listen and I watch. Because nowadays I do a lot of videos on TikTok and talking about African stuff, right? And I'd edit it and I just watch myself and I hear myself. I'm like, okay, girl, you sound nice. That's okay. That's okay. So you grow with time. It disappears, that phobia of like,
I can't wait.
Watching yourself, it disappears, because you're like, you kind of motivate yourself too.
And I think younger me, because like I started this podcast when I was like in my early 20s.
Wow.
I can't even watch like a full episode.
Like, who is that?
Cringe. Who is that? That's not me. That's not me.
Yeah.
And you're all over the place. You're so hyper. You don't even structure any conversation. You were going with the flow. We just, you know?
Yeah.
But like I sat down, was it like end of last year, this year, and I said, you know what? You're going to overcome this fear.
Yeah.
One video at a time.
100%.
Because that's the only way I'm going to learn and see, this is a better way I can tweak my videos. This is a better way I can have more effective conversations.
Yes.
And actually grow as an individual.
100%.
You know, but it's just something and you also see that so many people face it. Like, you don't even have to be a creator or creative. No. There are people who just want, no, I don't hear myself. If I've done, I'm finished. I'm like, how are you going to learn? How are you gonna see, like, this is my angle, you know?
This is my good side, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So you learn it from that way, and I like the way you've said that, you know, because it helps you sort of put yourself in the right space. Yeah.
But I love that you give yourself flowers. I'm gonna start doing that. Like,
I'm learning.
Especially when you do something like I like, for example, like I did a podcast a month ago.
Yeah.
And I go back home, I'm like, I don't like the answer I gave.
Like, I could have said something else.
And I'm just wasting like 31 hours pondering and thinking about it.
Yeah.
I'm like, the podcast has moved on. She has her own life. People have watched and moved on. They don't care.
And by the way, sometimes even with that, like you'd find comments. Do you know there's a time I interviewed Bobby Wine when I was at KTN?
Oh, why?
And I was like, I was excited because I was like, this is a big interview for me. I was excited. And I asked the questions that I thought I was asking the right questions. But in the comments, hey, amateur journalist, what is she talking about? She does not know. So I was like, it's okay if you guys feel like that. I think I did my part and I like what I did. Yeah. So whatever. So you'd also find sometimes in the comments, people really can come at you.
Yeah.
But you have to stand aside. It's okay. We'll do better.
Yeah. And this also gives you a chance to learn from like not even your mistakes, just grow.
It's growing.
Yeah. And I think also one thing I always say, like there'll be people who have like effective criticism.
Yes.
But there's just people who just have something to say.
Yeah.
Like, today she looks too good. Why are you all in burgundy?
Yeah.
You didn't, because it's Valentine's?
Just looking for
you're in love.
Like, exactly.
I'm like, and that's when I also said, understand, like, you have to be very selective with the information you get. Most especially when it's like, oh, tweak this, you can do this. You're doing well, but like, then there's just other people who will just want to say something. They have something to say.
Always, always. You've got to control that narrative for yourself.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it can get out of hand.
Yeah, and you also start seeing you're doing everything else for everyone else.
Yes.
Except you. Except yourself.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So, you are now like into the space where you're doing also a lot of storytelling online and not only just in your workplace.
Yeah.
What conversations, not even just journalists in general, what conversations do you think and topics do you think and areas in this world, community, anything, do you think we need to amplify more?
That's an interesting question. I'm going to start a bit broad, yeah? Oh my God. Okay, let me put it this way because I wanted to say something else and I'm like, what? But you know how every single time you watch a movie that's from the US or whatever, and the movie just always depicts like it's US versus terrorists, the US is winning, or it's, they're doing this and this. In that way, it already shapes how you think about a particular place or a particular country.
Yeah. For
Africa, for a very long time, the thing has always been Africa poverty. There's a lot of hungry children, malnutrition. The continent has jungles.
We live in the forest.
Exactly. Or like this thing that I've done it even on my page about Africa is not a country. Come on, guys, it's a continent, with 54 countries, right? So I think from that particular perspective, I'm really trying to change and say, yes, we do have challenges here and there. But number one, how about we talk about the real things that we do have? For instance, countries have really good mineral resources like the DRC.
Yeah.
The DRC is one of the biggest countries in Africa, right? It's full of resources. It could be very rich, but the situation there is completely different. So people don't see that side of Africa. So even what I do on my social media page, I talk about get to know your country. So I focus on a particular country. I break it down in terms of population and things like that. But I start with the unique things about that particular country. Like the other day, I did a video on Mozambique, and in Maputo, they have a train station. And that train station is very pretty if you look at it. It's it's a beautiful train station.
Yeah.
So I decided to start my video with there's an African country that has one of the most beautiful train stations in the world. So you see already I'm trying to create that narrative that, hey, yes, we are fighting and we have also good. It's also good.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things. Number two, women issues. That is close to my heart because even when I was at KTN, I used to be the president of the Standard Group Women Network, and it was all about mentorship and things like that.
Yeah.
But women's rights, women issues, this is a thing I think we've talked about for a very long time. But I think from an African perspective, it's very important to keep at it, to sort of, motivate women around the continent to do better and stop certain cultural practices like FGM.
Yeah.
I literally talked about FGM the other day on my page, Yes, it's in the culture, but how about it's not that important? Or, just trying to create that space for people to see things right. So women issues is one of the things that I think that really, really needs to be amplified. Number three, I think... Gen Zs. Okay. Sometimes I feel like Gen Zs, with the way things are going right now, I get the feeling that people don't see the importance of education as much anymore.
Yeah.
They're like, we can go to YouTube University. and learn things from YouTube and things like that, which is totally okay. But I think it's important to be educated.
100%.
It's important to go to school because it opens your mind.
Yeah.
It opens the way you see things. And that, I think, is the only way, even as Africa, as a continent, we're able to do things better than any other continent. Look at me being very, ambitious. Yeah, but education, because what different thing do they have that we don't have? Yes, there are different things, yeah. But when you're educated and you know what you can bring on the table, then that shifts a lot of things. So I think that's where I think a lot of young people need to come in.
Yeah,
yes,
education.
We do have technology and things are changing really quickly, but learn, educate yourself, go to school, meet people, talk to people. Yeah.
And I feel like there's a different experience you have when you go to school. People say like, you have to be street smart, you have to, I'm like, that's totally fine.
It's okay.
But when you have both, you're powerful. You're the 100%. Most powerful person in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I really value someone who's intelligent, intellectual, stuff, The thing is, being street smart is great. I totally agree. But when you go to school, not only are you just studying things that are there, you even meet people who are probably smarter and you also learn from them. They open your mind to different things. And honestly, I finished my master's the other day and now I'm just thinking, should I come back for a PhD?
Yes, you're welcome.
PhD? Because I want to expand the way I think and I see things. So I think school is such a plus and we should definitely keep at it. But again, I want to emphasize, I think there's a need for mentorship. And it's something that I'm also doing on the side where, people like me now, surprisingly, feel like in a space of a bit of authority and have a bit of an experience, I'm able to give back.
Yeah.
So I think now it's important that we all learn how to give back to other people through mentorship.
Yeah. That's very powerful in a way you can teach someone else, someone who is younger. People like to hoard information.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't think that's going to help you.
Opportunities.
Yes.
Because let me be honest with you, the challenge also like being in any other industry, but like media also, like you might just come in and people would see like, this one, she's a threat. I don't like the way she looks. This one, she's a threat, There's certain behaviors like that, right? Which I'm like, oh my God, nobody has the time.
Yeah.
So it's important to always, hold someone else's hand. I really do believe that if someone needs that kind of help, come through because we're all in different paths. Everybody's going on their own path. So help who you can. Yeah.
And I read this quote where it says, at the top, we collaborate and at the bottom, we compete.
Oof.
So it changed my whole perspective of everything because you also be around people where you are like Fathiya, you're the right person for an opportunity. But I'm like, I can do it. I'm like, no, is there anyone else? No, there's no one else. It's me.
I can.
But like, you never know how that may even like come back to you. You never know. So like, I definitely started saying, and even like people, like the most successful people, most intelligent people, they like to collaborate in terms of like, even not like sitting down here, I'm gaining a lot of knowledge. And like, we're also now recording this.
And
someone else is going to.
From you. Oh, really? Yes, girl. For sure.
But so we're recording this. Someone else is going to see. I'm like, I have to change the way I handle situations in life.
Yeah.
But the day I started seeing that, I was like, because you'd be surprised, like you meet like the richest person in this or the most successful speaker, and this person is so quick to tell you what to do. Read these few books, master this. But you meet someone else like who thinks you're a threat, and they're like, I'm so busy, I'm so swamped with everything. I'm like, you know what? Go where you're valued, but information is really out there. People
really
are
is
out there to actually help you. We always look at the bad and be like, it's us against the world. But there are actually people out there who want to see you do good.
100%.
And I always realize like people will see your light or your spark or your value before you see it.
That's true.
And more especially when you're younger, like I can imagine you're in the early 20s when you're in the industry. Someone else, like an old woman there is in the office, like this girl is going to take my job one day.
God, imagine.
And before you're just there moving with your books, like
I just want to
here
learn.
to get it, I'm here, I'm so eager,
Yeah.
So I started seeing it and I was like, oh, we have a lot, but like I love that you're even mentoring people. Can we be one of your mentees?
Talk to me nicely.
Yes. Say less.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
but that's so powerful because you know that knowledge needs to be passed down. You see, because if I get to know this, I get to also empower someone. If I get, and it's great, it doesn't just only stop, with you.
Yeah.
So I love that you're doing that. And actually, let's see the top 3 books for someone who is educated and intelligent, for a woman, more especially who is.
Yeah.
You're really breaking that. You're changing the narrative of women, and yes, 100%.
Yeah.
What books would you recommend anyone to read? Women, men, different fields, whatever. But like books that actually have changed your life.
Wow.
And made an impact.
Oh my God, there's a book. I just forgot the name. It's been written by the former CEO for Pepsi, an Indian lady. I think she's called Indira.
Yeah.
My goodness, I forgot the name of that book. Forgot the name, but you can check it up.
Yeah.
That's one of the books that I really recommend because I really wanted to understand, my goodness, how does it work being a career woman?
Yeah.
And then being a mom? Because of course, everybody, okay, not everybody. Let me speak for myself. I want to have a family at some point in my life, right? And I wonder sometimes, how do women balance, having a family and having a career going on? And it's a career that is like super high flying.
Yeah.
So that's one of the books. I don't remember the name.
I'm trying to actually get it.
Yes.
Yeah.
She was a former CEO for Pepsi.
Okay,
She's called Indira. You can just check it up. That's one of the books that I think I would highly, highly recommend. There's this book, A Psychology of Money. I don't know if you've seen it. I'm sure you've seen it somewhere. Yeah?
Yeah, that's a good book to read.
That's a good book. And I think it's important especially for a woman to learn how to be financially literate. Just know your finances, know where your money is going. It's not always going to be perfect. But it's important to learn, in terms of, okay, how do I make money? Where do I invest and things like that? So anything to do with money, to be honest, psychology of money, or even listening to podcasts that are about money and things like that, I would really recommend that.
Yeah.
The third book, I just had it in mind. There's a book called More Than a Woman. I think it's written by Caitlin. I don't remember. My goodness, I'm forgetting things today.
Yeah.
My God. Yeah, but there's a book called More Than a Woman. It's a funny book.
Yeah, I have to cover it. Yeah.
It's a funny book because she talks about her different experiences in her marriage and her life and things like that. But that's another book for like a woman I would recommend, and I think it's quite powerful. But I need to get you the name for the name of the book.
I'm seeing it here. My Life in Full. Work, family, and our future.
That's the one. My Life in Full. Yeah, My Life in Full. She is the former CEO for Pepsi. I loved the book. I love the book. I've seen her videos, and she talks about sometimes it's good to have a team. Like as women, especially if you're independent, you want to do everything by yourself. And as a firstborn, I can tell you that's literally us to the T. Like you want to do everything by yourself, but it's important to learn how to have a team. A support system, a tribe, some may call it, whether it's family, friends, just people around you to support you sometimes. Because sometimes you might be doing so many things and you need to take a break for yourself. Some form of me time.
To breathe.
You need to breathe. And just, it's really good for your mental health. So that's what I think.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. I definitely have 2 more books to read now. Thank you very much. And one game we play here, totally African, is like red flag, green flag, but we call it a blanket because it's so huge you can't avoid it.
Oh my God.
So red blankets, green blankets.
Let's go. Okay.
So we're going to start in the workplace.
Okay.
Red blanket in the workplace.
Oh,
what are the red flags? Just one. Where you're like, question mark.
Oh my God, I have to think. I really have to think. In the workplace, maybe I wouldn't even just say workplace only.
Yeah.
I think generally. Honestly, if someone is too good sometimes to me, too good, like you want to help out, you want to be in my space.
Okay.
Like, I can help you grow. I can help you do this. I can do this. I'm always like,
question mark there.
What do you
Why?
Want? What do you want? Because sometimes people really go out of their way to do things. I can bring you anything. Oh, I saw that book you're reading. Do you want it in another copy? And if someone is that too good to be
doing
true
too
thing,
much. Yeah.
For me, it's always a red flag because I always feel like it's better that you show me you don't like me I don't like what you stand for. And I'd be like,
Good.
you stay there, I stay here.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
You've shown me your true colors.
Exactly. And I'm happy about that. But if it's the other way around where you're doing too much for me, to me, that's a big red flag.
Yeah. So green blanket.
Oh wow, that's nice. Do you know? Have you ever heard that sometimes you make like very good friends from work, like your coworkers? And I'm not talking about in terms of just career. I'm just talking about people to people relationship. Honestly, if you have someone who is genuinely there in the workplace, let's say if you're going through something work related and they're just there to call you aside and they speak life into you, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, hey, Fathiya, okay, you're not all those things you're calling yourself for. Just, I'm the worst. I hate this. Then, hey, listen, chill. No, you got this. You're better than this. If you have people in your corner, especially in the workplace, who can talk to you like that at that particular moment, oof.
You're good at it in this life. You've won.
Yeah,
like
doing
that's
well. That's good, because I think sometimes that support system, even in a workplace, is good, because believe me, I've had moments at work where I'm just like, I'm gonna come for you.
Yeah.
Like, you're pissing me off, but I can't necessarily do that. I already have someone I can run to, or it's important to have that also in the workplace. So for me, that's important. Away from the career things and what you need to do, people to people relationship, 100% important.
Yeah. Okay. And red blanket friend in friendship.
Oh my God, girl! If I tell you, I really don't have friends. Like, I have very few friends.
That's good.
My circle is so small. In fact,
good.
It's my sisters.
Yeah. Oh wow.
My sisters are my friends. I do have friends here and there, but like, I not necessarily close friends. But
quality over quantity.
Trust me, I think it's important to be aware of a jealous friend. Oh my God!
Please write a book.
I'm just saying, like,
please write a book.
You never see it coming. You never see it coming, and it could be sometimes, someone's just like, "Oh, that was really nice and all," but when you look keenly at the way they're communicating to you, really, or at the same time, they might be saying this about you, but they're going behind your back and they're talking so much not so good things. So I think it's important, especially for women, to be wary of jealous friends, because let me just say that type of behavior sometimes can ruin your life completely, especially if you're not grounded.
Yeah. Green blanket in friendships.
Oh. Wow.
Are you now thinking about your sisters?
Imagine. Interestingly, yeah. Wow. I think I've mentioned it, the support and the love. And I do have a sister who really hypes me up. She hypes me up.
A hype woman.
Oh my God. Do you know, sometimes she'd be like, do you know who you are in the industry? Yeah? Do you know who you are? Do you see yourself?
Yes, ma'am. Sometimes you need someone like that. Yes.
True. That's true. Because for me, I think, okay, for me, like, words of affirmation, I wouldn't necessarily say they're like my top love languages, but I think that speaking into life is that important.
Yeah.
And I'm saying even within friends or family, like people who are there in your corner, sort of just to be like, you got this, they're hyping you up and they're protecting you from that perspective is very important. I'm trying to look for another example, but I think with my sisters, because they are my friends, like, you want to be in a space with your friends or family where you feel like they're not judging you. Yeah. Maybe you did something, you messed up. They told you don't do it, but you're like,
you went and did it.
I did it, but they wouldn't be like, why did you do it? No, it's like, okay, it's fine. How about next time you limit doing this? How about it? Wow. I think that's big. Having people who give you that grace and they don't judge you. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And in relationships, red blanket in relationships. Save a sister out there. Maybe we need to hear your advice.
Oh my God. Wow. I mean, I've been single for a while, actually. Because I think for us, it's that intentionality. If you meet someone, it's for marriage. We're not dating for fun. Let's do it for. for marriage. Wow. I have so many things in my head. But I think
Can spill the tea. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. the people who I think, even in relationships, who would act like they care, for instance, about something that you care about, like career, and they would act like they're, we're pushing you to do it, just go, have it and all. But if you don't look keenly, they're actually trying to pull you down because they're, let's say, for instance, you were supposed to go somewhere and meet somebody and you were driving, right? You're driving to that particular place, and all of a sudden that morning they've asked you for your car. Can I just go and fix this? So what does that do? They derail you from that particular opportunity. But remember, they've told you, hey, listen, I want you to go meet this person. That's a nice opportunity. You never know the door it's going to open for you. But somehow
they've jeopardized it.
That's number one. Number two, I think in a relationship setup, especially for a woman, if a guy is not hearing you, not listening, if he's not hearing you, I think for me, because you might be there yapping and, you're trying to communicate, but like, I'm listening to you. What are you talking about? I'm saying, no, you're not hearing me.
Yeah.
That for me is a big red flag, because there's listening and then there's hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I keep adding it, as someone who's patient with you. Because as women, a lot of the times we have these emotions.
Yeah.
Our cycle, how it works. There are days you're in your best moods. There are days, if he does not give you that grace and patience, out.
Blocker.
Yeah. 100%.
So green blankets in relationships.
Oh my God. Like I said, I've been single for a long time.
Yeah.
But I think thoughtful, when someone is thoughtful, small acts of service, especially as a firstborn, I'm so used to doing things by myself. Like, I tell you to lift that, and
you're like
you
the second mom in the house,
and you forget to lift it. I'll just go take it out. I'll just go do whatever it is, like, because I'm so used to being independent. So I think a green flag is you've already thought about what I'm about to do or I'm about to say before I say it or think about it. For me, that's like, my God, you've won. What? Trying to sort of relieve you from certain responsibilities or certain experiences. I'm sure you've seen on Instagram these videos where, a couple is going for a trip in the airport and the guy is handling everything, all the bags, and I'm like, I need someone.
And the girl is just here looking like, oh, what's next?
I can't think. Yeah, that that acts of service, and being thoughtful, that is everything. For me, honestly, that is everything. Because that means later when you even have a family, let's say you're expectant or you're having kids, is able to sit back and think steps ahead. Like, okay, she'll need this in the next 2 hours.
Yeah.
How do I get it to her?
Yeah.
For me, that's
I feel like consideration is a very lovely way to show someone you love them.
Yeah.
And when you're so like, I think the more you grow up, you also start to see that these people are not obliged to even do anything for you.
Imagine.
But someone, you can imagine you say something small and someone gets it. Okay, not even just buying things.
Yeah.
But I'm panicking. I have to edit this work. And you sit down and you do it with me or you help me through it. I'm like,
or you stay till late. Even if it's on FaceTime.
Wow.
It's okay. Let's just be on FaceTime. Don't be bored. Or and things like those are small.
You got out of your way.
Imagine.
To actually help me or do something.
It's not a must. You're choosing. The other thing that I'm really learning, and I hope, even in future I'd be able to get someone like that, is someone who's choosing you every single day. Because you don't have your good days every single day, right?
Yeah.
So there are days where you wake up and you're feeling emotional or you're mad about something. You need somebody who's going to be like, okay, I'm here.
Yeah.
In every season. I think that's the goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Wow.
I'm just taking all of it in. Like, I'm like, wow. Yeah. But for a woman who is choosing to be single, what would you say we should also be focusing on? More especially in the era where you're single and there's so much noise you've like blocked out. As a woman, what would you advise like other women who have not yet found maybe a partner yet to start to focus on? And not just always send a man.
Oh my God. Girl, focus on you.
Yes.
Listen, when I turned 25, I was in Zanzibar, right? By myself at that particular point. And I thought, wow, like, what is this world? Like, I'm just doing this by myself in my own space. I love it. I'm learning how to take care of myself. So if you're single, I think the things you should focus on, because that partner you're looking for will come. It's not so easy sometimes, by the way, as much as you're thinking. But I think you need to focus on how to better yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, and of course, spiritually.
Yes.
Religious wise, like if you're a spiritual person or you believe in God, whether you're Muslim, Christian, or whatever, you come from, like, connect more with your God. I think that always comes first, because I really find myself feeling, sometimes, just when I'm so confused about things and I need clarity, I feel safe when I sit and I'm just talking to God.
Yeah.
I'm just talking like, hey, so this and this and this and this and this, how do I sort this? So that's definitely one. Physically, if it means taking a walk outside, if it means going to the gym, if it means, doing yoga 100%, just take care of yourself like that. And mentally, read books, go to school. Okay?
Yeah.
Find hobbies.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I need to work
side
on.
quests.
Oh my God. Like, I keep saying I need to get hobbies. But find hobbies. Meet people, go outside, socialize and things like that. So I think as a woman who could be single or is still single in this particular season, then focus entirely on that. Okay? Focus on yourself. In those 4 aspects, your life will flow well.
Yeah, 100%.
Fill your cup.
Yes, I love that. When we were talking about that, like, it's so important to fill your cup.
Yeah.
Then people get the excess of what comes out of the cup,
100%.
not what's in the cup.
Yep.
We can't be burnt out every single year. You're worn out. You're dry.
Every single time.
No.
Yeah,
and it's very powerful. And I feel like even when a man or anyone finds you in such a headspace, they respect you more.
100%.
Like you still have a life outside this person.
Exactly.
Because I realize most women will always like, okay, now I have a man. Everything else of mine cancelled. I'm like,
no.
How? Friends, goodbye. Workplace, no, I'm good. I'm like,
no.
I think when the era and the generation where we have to you also have your own life. But we complement each other. We bounce back off each other's success and lessons and all these things.
100%,
yeah.
Let me add something just real quickly about the red blankets. Oh my God, and I'm sure you've seen this in relationships.
Yeah,
because I've been in the streets for a while. Oh my God, I would just avoid nonchalant people or people who are not in tune with their emotions. Goodness. It is not easy, because you might find yourself constantly, you're trying to be in this person's space, or you need some emotional, you want a shoulder to lean on, and they're not there. Please avoid someone who doesn't care about your feelings and doesn't acknowledge them. Bye.
Cancelled.
Okay, I'm done with that.
Yeah. No, but we need to definitely, that was a very important point to put out there, because you can imagine you're seeking like validation, not even like attention, and the person is just like, okay, I'm like, no. I've not worked this hard to end up with someone like this. Please, I beg.
Sometimes it's so heartbreaking, because I've been in such situations where I'm like, so I had a rough day and I want to talk about it, and just like, yeah, sure.
It looks so unbad. I'm like,
yeah, whatever. I'm not replying your text till tomorrow. No, stay away from such. Honestly. Yeah.
And okay, before we wind up, you've really talked to like so many people around the world. Seeing your interview with like Yvonne Chaka Chaka, with President Museveni.
Yes.
I'm like, but do you know who you are? Do you know who you really are? Because you're giving me a very humble, but I hope you still know who you are.
Almost there.
How do you handle such sensitive people? Because these are people with influence, people who have a say even over your career. Even asking the questions. Is there like a protocol you have to follow? Like, you don't talk about this. You do how do you handle such an opportunity?
First off, I think naturally, as a journalist, or even if you're doing an interview and you're not a journalist, you need to do your background research and your homework. You see, you cannot go to a president and start talking some type of way about the opposition, so you have to do your homework. You want to ask the hard questions, but they have to be the right questions at the same time. So number one, of course, do your homework, do your research.
Yeah.
Number two, I think it's how you handle yourself or you present yourself to the person you're talking to. You see, I also did an interview with the late former Ghanaian president, Jerry Rawlings, and this was in 2019. And I just went in and I said hi. And throughout the interview, he had a lot of stories. I was like, I'm just here for a 3-minute interview, but it went on for an hour. So you have to learn also like, okay, so this is how they talk and they speak a lot. Let them speak, let them finish. So you have to handle yourself in a way that, they will also be receptive to you.
Yeah.
With Yvonne Chaka Chaka, oh my God.
I was like, girl, you're a superstar. Wow.
I just looked for her and her contact last year because I did it in February.
Yeah.
February last year, that interview in South Africa. And she was really like humble and she invited us to do the interview in her house in Johannesburg. And let me tell you, see, we did the questions and it was so normal initially. Like I'm just asking a normal person questions, just the right questions. The moment we finished the interview, it's like that's where like you become starstruck. All of us, me and my team, were like, "Oh my God, we're actually speaking to the Yvonne Chaka Chaka." That's when we finished and we're like, "Can we take pictures?"
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's so good to see. But before that, you have to maintain your composure, your posture, and very professional. You have to be professional in such spaces. So it's always such an honor to be in spaces with such leaders and people like that. But it also tells you a lot about a particular person. With President Museveni in Uganda, I went to produce that interview and my colleague Fathiya Mohamed Nur was doing that interview. And when we went to see him, he was wearing a mask. He's been wearing a mask for a long time.
He's very big on his safety and
my God, and the distance is like
social distance.
Social distance is real,
Yes.
And I remember when I said hi because you're not shaking hands, and I said hi to him, and he made a joke like, "You're Somali, from which part in Kenya?" And I said, "Oh, from Narok," and he was like, "Oh, okay, yeah." And we made a small joke out of that, and that already created that rapport. And he was comfortable, I was comfortable, and we were comfortable already in that space. So you need to learn also how to create that rapport with the person that you're talking to, so that the response is also very seamless and easy. Yeah.
So what you do before the interview also matters.
100%.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Again, also another important factor, how you dress.
Is the way you'll be addressed.
100%. Please repeat that again.
How you dress is the way you'll be addressed. Ladies, men, everyone.
Girl,
Yes,
100%.
Oh, wow.
You cannot go and you're wearing like just some funny sneakers. You're going to speak to the president. Come on, be a bit serious.
You're in Crocs and leggings and like what's going on here?
And Kempton. No. How you present yourself is also very important because that means you also take yourself seriously.
Yes.
Okay. So he or she will also respect you. And when they're talking to you, they already hold you to a certain caliber.
Yes.
Maintain it. So how you look is like 100%. And it's not only women, but even men. Be in your suit. Look sharp. Look sharp and look the part. So that's also very important.
And you also look trustworthy. Yeah. Like you also look like you're worth his time. Exactly. These are presidents were crying out loud. They have 101 things to do.
Yeah.
So you look the part like, okay, we can sit and talk. What are you? Who are you?
But also, let me tell you another thing that I've realized. Who you are on social media is also very important. Okay? Because your social media, your digital footprint also really talks about who you really are.
Yes.
So it's okay to do what you want. It is your page at the end of the day. But you want to secure an interview with a president, or you want to secure an interview with a global leader, and your social media is
saying something else
suspicious that you're reposting and things. You're like, what are you doing? It's fine. It's your page to do whatever. But if you want to be in a certain space and be a person of a certain type, then even your social media says a lot about you.
Yes. And I'm sure they're also going to do their due diligence and trying to figure you out before the interview.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You cannot be there talking bad about that particular president you're going to interview. Like, they're going to be like, no, we know what you talk about. No, thank you. Stay far back. Stay far back. So your social media is also very, very crucial. Yeah.
Okay. So our last question today on Totally African Podcast is, how do you want to be remembered?
Oh my God.
I love the discussion leaves everyone like, what? Oh, wow. Yeah.
I saw this interview where someone said, they don't even want a legacy. They don't want to be remembered. And I thought such an interesting analogy, or like the thought behind it. But for me, I see it this way. We're all here for a purpose, right? And at this point in my life, I'm just thinking, I just want to tell stories. I want to be someone of influence from a positive place, especially in Africa. So I'd put it like, oh my God.
Oh, I love it. Sorry, I'm just getting goosebumps.
I want to be remembered. Whoops. Someone who cared about, people from a perspective of how they can do better, how they can be better as a person, right? From an educated point of view, from a leadership point of view. And even here in Africa, just changing the narrative, because everything starts with your mind. And I believe if you're able to change people's mindset and change the narrative in how they see themselves, then they're able to do better for themselves. So in that particular way, instead of doing so many things and just, not necessarily giving out much, that speaking and talking to people, I think changes a lot. So I'd want to be remembered as someone who really tried to shape the continent differently in a positive way, and that we can shape our world the way we want it. It's all up to us.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you so much for being here with us on Totally African Podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, I've learned so much.
I've learned a lot from
I can end my day now.
Thank you so much for having me. I think you're doing brilliant. Please keep at it. We need more women in such spaces who are focused on doing the right thing and just, that also sets some form of precedence to the rest of the generations.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you. I agree, yes. But I appreciate it. I'm also learning how to start taking my roses. You can downplay a compliment. Oh, not so much. No, thank you very much.
100%.
We are doing our best and we're going to continue to do it.
Yes, 100%.
Thank you so much for tuning in. The Totally African Podcast. Check us out on Instagram, YouTube, and Spotify, and TikTok. We're all over the world, and we're going to continuously tell the African story. So you've heard it for yourself here. Join the conversation and let's grow and promote Africa. Bye, guys.